level, your level of consumption, your level of pattern, your level of expenditure is at a certain stage wherein only you can identify about a certain level or a certain limit of expenditure pattern with respect to 40,000 rupees only. So at this stage, what you have to do, you have to identify what is your minimum level or the maximum level of understanding and expenditure pattern till what level you can continue with the expenditure or the savings. So in this case, at this stage, we have to identify about what is the change in the income effect. So accordingly, if the income increases, your quantity demanded will increase, and if your income remains stable, your quantity demand will decrease. And accordingly, if there is a decrease in the income level also, accordingly your quantity demand will start decreasing. Substitution effect. Now substitution effect is a particular concern wherein if there is an implementation or if there is an introduction of new product into the particular market. Now identify a particular scenario wherein a particular petrol pump. Now continuing with the example of the petrol prices that has been offered today, a particular petrol pump which is that is there are two brand categories, that is Indian Oil and Hindustan Petroleum. Now HP and Indian Oil are the two petrol pumps that is available for you, and you go to these particular stores for consumption of petrol. Now, whenever you go to HP petrol pump, then at this stage, for example, the petrol is offered at rupees 100, and at Indian Oil stage, the petrol is offered at rupees 95. So what people will do, people will not go for HP petrol pump and they will go for Indian Oil, and accordingly, the consumption pattern will be more at that particular stage. So in this case, what we have to identify, there must not be a substitution effect also. So your competitors who are there, their pricing strategy must also be same, and there must not be change in the pricing policies of that particular concern also. Another substitution effect. Now substitution effect with respect to another category of product that is available at this particular stage. So what is that another category? For example, a particular fuel that has been developed, and accordingly the fuel that has been generated, for example CNG. Now CNG is affordable for you, and accordingly you convert your vehicle into CNG, and the CNG is affordable at rupees 50 per kg or 50 per liter. So what happened in case of substitution? Earlier you were consuming petrol or diesel, and a substitutional product or an alternative product has been provided in terms of CNG or another fuel, that is a kerosene, has been developed, and the kerosene is available at rupees 40 per liter. So in this case, a substitution is into existence, and accordingly your quantity demanded for that particular product increases or decreases, and according to the price of this particular product, the quantity demand either increase or decrease. New consumer creating the demand. So the new demand curve slopes downward because there are additional number of new customers who are creating the demand for your product. Now earlier, the particular product, that is the basmati rice. Now take the example of basmati rice. If basmati rice is available for rupees 200 per kg, and accordingly if the quantity of the if the price of the quantity of basmati rice reduces to rupees 180 per kg, or it comes down more to rupees 150 per kg, what people will do? The people who are affording the earlier, now there are two examples with you, that is original rice of basmati available at rupees 200 per kg, and normal rice, that is another, that is Indrayani or any of the cola, any of the type of product that is available, that is ambe more, at rupees 150 per kg. Now a particular person who was earlier consuming a particular ambe more of rupees 150 per kg, what he will do, he will switch from ambe more to basmati, which is available at the same price, that is 150 per kg. So new consumer is creating a demand. So if the new consumers are creating the demand for your respective product, accordingly what will be the concern or what will be the situation? The product or the quantity demanded of that particular product starts increasing. Earlier, your old customers are also into existence, that is they are consuming the basmati rice, but in case of the switch from this particular product, if the product price is reducing, the new customers gets added to that particular category, and the new customer starts consuming your products. Law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility specifically focuses on a particular concern wherein it identifies about the marginal utility of a particular product, that is the satisfaction level. There is a certain satisfaction level to a particular consumer or to a particular trader, wherein at every stage, if he feels that if the price of the product is commodity has been decreasing, then I need to stock that particular material. So at this stage, what a particular consumer will do, he will start to identify, he will start to stock that particular material, and he will try to get maximum number of quantity that can be made available. So if the for example, as on in today's market scenario, we have the petrol available at rupees 100 per liter. Now if it gets reduced to rupees 90 per liter, what you will do, you will immediately fill your tank, you will immediately get the bottles, you will immediately get the barrels, and accordingly you will start consuming, or you will start storing the material that is being required for you. So at this stage, the marginal utility for a particular product, whether the price increases or decreases, accordingly the consumer mindset also increases or decreases, and after a point of time, the marginal utility also starts decreasing. So over a period of time, what you will do, you will get restricted for consumption of those particular products, and accordingly the diminishing marginal utility is a certain concern wherein over a period of time or after a certain point of time you will stop consuming either petrol or diesel, and you will switch to a particular new product, which may be either a CNG bike or a particular bike which is running on a kerosene, or a particular bike which is an electric vehicle. So law of diminishing marginal utility. After a specific concern, after a specific point of time, the marginal utility is identification of a certain concern wherein it is having always a negative impact, is always having a diminishing effect, wherein if it is not been satisfied, if it is not been fulfilled, the consumer will switch to some another product. So switching from one product to another product is also applicable in terms of demand curve which is sloping in a downward position. Price effect, always there is a direct relationship between the price and quantity that has been demanded. So in terms of the demand curve, we have always seen that if the price is decreasing, always the quantity demanded increases. So if earlier the price of rupees of any of the commodity, that is a gold, if the price of gold earlier was rupees 55,000 per 10 gram, and if it reduces to rupees 50,000 per gram, or it comes to 40,000 per gram, what people will do, people will start purchasing maximum amount of gold. They will keep as a certain stock part of a reserve, and accordingly they will sell this particular amount of gold that they have purchased in order to make a maximum number of profit, or in order to, in terms of the quantity demanded earlier in terms of 55,000, 10 grams gold was available. Now in terms of 55,000, 1.3 grams, sorry, 13 or 14 grams of gold can be made available for you. So in this case, the demand curve is also having a direct relationship with respect to the price effect. Whether the price is increasing or decreasing, the quantity demanded is also having a direct impact on the product that has been purchased. Different income groups, so every person having a different income groups, the demand curves is also having a different perspectives with respect to the change in the standard of living. So a particular person having an income level of rupees 2 lakh, a person having income level of 6 lakhs, a person having income level of rupees 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, and so on. So at this stage, what happen, their income, if your income groups or the income level changes, accordingly your consumption pattern, your demand for that particular product also changes. Demand for a particular sugar, for example, a particular family or a particular person whose income is rupees 2 lakhs per annum, then accordingly his quantity demanded for a particular sugar may be around 50 kg per year. A particular family having income level of rupees 20 lakhs, accordingly their expenditure must also be very high, their requirements, their standard of living must also be very high, and accordingly their consumption for sugar may be around 200 kgs per year or 500 kgs per year. So in this way, if your income level changes, your quantity demanded, your number of products, your standardization of the products, your consumption of the products also changes as and when the time changes, or as and when your income changes. Different uses, always there are various uses with respect to a certain product that has been offered for you. So with respect to the different uses of a particular product, a particular product may be used for a different perspectives, different uses, and it can be applicable with respect to the demand curve, which is making a certain effect of a downward position. One single product may be used for a different purposes, and these particular different purposes may increase the efficiency level of that particular product or decrease the efficiency level of that particular product. For example, a vehicle. Now if you purchase a two-wheeler, and whenever this particular two-wheeler is being used again and again, that is on daily basis, you are traveling for around 100 kilometers, and after 100 kilometers, for example, the two-wheeler reaches to a certain position that it has completed 5,000 kilometers of transportation. So after 5,000 kilometers of transportation, what happened, the utility of that particular product, the efficiency of that particular product, the efficiency of your two-wheeler starts decreasing. So in this way, what happened, different uses. So what you will do, you will need to repair that particular product, you will need to go to its servicing, and accordingly the different uses for this particular product can be made applicable. So what you have to do, you have to do repairs, you have to do maintenance, you have to do servicing, and accordingly the cost of that particular product increases. So different uses, a particular product which has been purchased, now it is being used for different purposes, different motives, and accordingly the applicability of the product changes or switches from one use to another use. Unsatisfied wants, so a particular individual human being is always unsatisfied, their means, wants, and limiters are always increasing, and based on those particular concerns, what happen, the unlimited wants are identified at this particular stage, and it keeps on increasing again and again. Now, when the unlimited wants of the particular individual keeps on increasing again and again, what happen? They want to switch from one product to another product. Now, this particular product may be affordable, may not be affordable, whether it is consumable or not consumable. What the consumer will do? The consumer will try to switch from one product to another product, and accordingly, it will create a certain impression or on the minds of the consumer about in what way or in what quantity the product has to be demanded. Okay, we'll move at this, we'll stop at this particular stage. We'll continue the next topic in the next lecture. Okay, I am dropping the link of attendance in the chat box. Students to please mark their attendance. We are ending the session 5 minutes bit early today because I am already exhausted with the earlier session that was being conducted.